Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vex Warfield. I am Vex, your host, and tonight I'm going to talk a little about emotions. I'm going to talk a little about how we're being affected by emotions. We've covered a little bit about this on previous streams, but I don't know if it's actually sunk in. I mean, we have lots of things that will affect us. Different energies that are around us, different energies in other people will affect us. Hey, Veritas, good to see you. Energies affect other energies and can manipulate moods and emotions. And this is something that I don't know if everybody actually, hey, Sunfish, good to see you. I don't know if everybody actually, brings this to the forefront the way they should. Especially in how things go in, well, how everybody acts today. We know everybody's gotten more emotional, more into their feels. I mean, I remember it was a big joke when I first started getting online. What would you get your internet feelings hurt? But now internet feelings have come out into the real world. And that's a problem. Now, there are many different factors involved. Hey, God's Night, good to see you. There are many different factors involved. Everything from, like I said, the energies of other people, influence and infringing on your own, or your own infringing on others. There are external ones, like the sun. The sun puts out lots of energy. And yes, we are affected by it. Space weather has an effect on how we act. We know this, actually, before all this crazy, Common Core math and all this other crap started coming out. This was kind of common knowledge. We knew that this had an effect on us. That's one of the reasons why we put specific satellites up there to watch the sun, so we can see what's coming at us before it hits us. But then we got into, crazy land, and nobody takes that into account anymore. As a matter of fact, they don't want you to take that into account. 11-year-old packing firearms? That used to be standard when I was growing up. I was 11 years old and shooting my grandpa's 30-30. I'm affected by stupid people. Yeah, it is an effect. And if you can gain control, I'm not saying become a Vulcan from Star Trek, but if you gain control over how you feel, it empowers you. It really, really does. I speak from experience. I mean, part of the confidence that I put forth, if you see me as having confidence, then that has come from me facing up to my fears and stepping past them. But every time before I go live, I have butterflies in my stomach, just because I'm afraid I'm going to do something stupid. Common, small fears. Yeah, sometimes I have done stuff that was stupid. I'm fallible just like anyone else. But it has an effect on others. I know I've used the example many, many times. If you go to a party, you can tell where rowdy people are. You can tell where the chill people are hanging out. You can tell who's upset and who's not. You can pick up on it. This is your gut instincts. This is your body reacting to what fields you are producing and receiving. Everybody has a connection with everything else. This is something I say a lot. Everything's connected. Well, this is no different. And the more we gain control of ourselves, not like I said, I'm not saying shut off your emotions, because your emotions are important. They're part of who you are. But so is your intellect. And the intellect must guide your emotions. Hey, Carolyn, good to see you. Yeah. Like I said before, that's a big problem, and it will be dealt with. We can't have that kind of stuff happening. But we must gain control over our base emotions. It's not getting a stranglehold of them, on them. It's guiding them, using them for what it should be used for, instead of letting them run wild. I was thinking earlier today while I was at work about how I used to act. And I was, I wouldn't say I was the most violent kid around or anything like that, but I was pretty violent. And if I got into a situation where I was uncomfortable, my first reaction was to basically throw fists or whatever. Maybe smack somebody in the head with a 2x4. It didn't matter. Whatever the situation was, my first reaction was to lash out, because it was the only training I had that, put forth any type of results. Just because, quite frankly, my parents weren't working together to teach me proper things. So I was deficient, and I didn't speak up a lot to ask questions, and as far as trying to get my own emotion under control. It was one of those, he's just a problem child. Hey, Higgs. But it took me one why I was trying to lash out at everything instead of trying to learn it. Hey, Victoria, good to see you. Thanks for giving us another chance over here. But your emotions will drive you to the point of insanity. I mean, I was never a model student or anything like that. But I was not the worst one. If I was interested in something, I wanted to learn it. If I wasn't interested in it, I didn't pay attention. And unfortunately, growing up and being in school, you tend to, well, at least I tended to block a lot of things out. But it wasn't until later that I learned that I could use myself as a younger person to figure out why I did the things I did. Because quite frankly, at the time, I didn't understand it. But I realized something simple. It was the fact that, what do they call it? Like a governor on yourself. I didn't have a governor, or if I did, it was very small and ineffective. So I had to build one of my own. I didn't know how. I didn't even know you could. So I started watching other people instead of being inside my own head. So I noticed that not everybody acted like me. Okay, so I'm different. Okay, I get that. Why am I different? Well, different things happened in my life than what happened to other people in their life. Okay, so what was so different about mine? And then I'd go back and think about all the things that made me angry or made me lash out, and I started watching the patterns. And it was a lack of understanding of others that made me lash out. it was easier to lash out than it was to actually look at somebody's point of view other than my own. How could I put myself in their shoes to understand where they're coming from? That's one of the key things in how I was able to rein in my emotions, to guide them so I wasn't such, well, quite frankly, just a mean person. But this is something that all of us, well, I'll step back a little bit and say, when I was growing up, this is something that evidently most people already knew this lesson. Whether it was they had good parents or, whatever it was, they had a good role model. I really didn't when I was growing up. I thought I did, but that fell apart quickly. Seemed like every type of role model I went, to look up to made it worse. Because, well, quite frankly, I was picking the wrong role models. But, dumb kids, what are you going to do? But I kept on trying. And quite frankly, my frustrations kept me in the dark for quite a while. I mean, I when I was in high school, right before I dropped out, I wanted to find someone that could help me learn to meditate. Because I thought, if I could figure a way to calm my mind and center it, I also wanted martial arts, so that kind of went along with it. And I tried to get lessons on meditation. Well, it turns out that, other high schoolers aren't really all that good with meditation, and I never could get the hang of it. Until I started reading a lot of stuff and watching videos and about people centering, meditating, and centering themselves. And I started understanding it was the key for me, breathing. Paying attention to your breathing is one single thing. It was to focus on that and bring it down to a small point. And then basically after that, you get to the point where you don't even concentrate on your breathing. You don't concentrate on anything. And that's when, personally, that's when things start flashing through my head on their own. It's not that I'm trying to think about anything. It's things coming to me. It's, without going, into my bad dreams and stuff. But learning to meditate gave me a tool to gain control over myself. And once I started gaining control over myself, I was able to learn things a lot better. I was able to learn things faster. My concentration was heightened to the point where, I started studying particle physics in my spare time. Now, I'm not a scientist, I claim to be, and I won't claim to understand everything, but I learned a lot. I was able to focus on it, and I could see what I was reading in my head, and it made sense. And then I'd try something totally foreign, like, I was going to say this, but quite frankly, when I started interested in civics in high school, that was the last year they had it, so that didn't work very well, and plus, I fell asleep in the class anyway. But after high school, I learned how to at least partially quiet my mind. And like I said, that gave me the ability to build a governor for my emotions. Now, I can't tell you that I have complete control, because I get irritated, I get pissed off. I have the full range of emotions, but I don't let them lead me. They follow. I know on a previous stream I explained more or less how my mind works in that regard. Hey, Rebel Jack, good to see you. But gaining control of your emotions is not magical. And it will allow you to make better decisions. Some people may even think that they make greater decisions when they're emotional. Now, in the short term, maybe even in the long term. But if you base all your decision making on emotions, it will fall apart. It's almost like impulse buying. You find out at the end of the month you don't have any more money left. Well, it's because you spent $1 there, $2 there, $3 there, and it basically ate away at your pocket. It's like that. It takes part. If you don't have the governor, it digs a bigger hole. You have more trouble building that governor. Hey, Survival. Good to see you. And the next thing I wanted to basically tie it into was all the other things that are happening externally. Like I said, the sun has an effect on us. We know this through the study of birds and their migration and things like that. When there's solar flares and CMEs, then they have trouble navigating, things like that. It may not be directly emotional, but it messes with our electrical impulses. And, I know you smart people in chat know that, our bodies work on bioelectricity and have a magnetic field. Might not be, huge, but it does. And the external forces outside our planet have an effect on us, even up to the galaxy itself and the rest of the universe. It may not be as prominent, but it's there nonetheless. It's all connected. And if you have disruptions in your electrical impulses in your body, it's going to affect how you handle things. It's going to affect how you do things. Exactly. Positive vibrations. As a matter of fact, I wanted to bring that on. Oh, I was going to use that for my thumbnail. Never mind. You guys see it later. But everything has an effect on everyone. That's kind of a wide open, broad statement. But even down to the cell phones, the laptops, anything wireless, all the way up to the sun and the galaxy and the universe itself. Think of it as a large power generator, the universe as a whole. It's not quite, but you can think of it in that regard. And it all goes into frequency and vibration. And we are affected by those. Every living thing, every non-living thing. Because even rocks have a field of their own. So when we have disruptions, say in our solar system, because right now we are having disruptions in our solar system. No joke. Lots of planets in our outer solar system are experiencing some turmoil, to the point where people are yelling Planet 9 and, and Nibiru and all that. So things are happening, and it's visually recognizable in the outer solar system, but it's still happening in the inner solar system too. So the way it looks is it's moving outward to inward. So it's heading, I guess in a basic way towards the sun. So I think this time next year we're going to have lots and lots of earthquakes. Maybe even some erupting volcanoes and the Ring of Fire and all that. But that's not exactly what I wanted to cover. My point is that things from outside our world have an effect on our world, whether we recognize it or not. And all these many factors that come into play, on top of the propaganda that we're being put through on, basically an hour-to-hour basis, and then the lack of teaching the generations after us to control ourselves. I mean, when I was growing up, the big thing, you didn't cry if you were a guy. Well, that's what I was taught. Those were parameters. And I don't cry. It was something I was taught, and it was a discipline. One of the very few ones that I did have. Sorry, I was just marveling at the music vibrating in my ears. You guys hearing that okay versus my audio? It's not interrupting either, so I'm basically trying to say, how's the audio out there? All the stuff that comes at us on a daily basis, all the wireless signals and all the satellites in orbit, and even, thank you, Saru. All right. Good night, Victoria. Thanks for coming by. But all these signals we're being bombarded with affect us. They affect us down to our emotional state. I can give you an example personally. I live basically in a small city, and every time I go out to the gun range, there's less signal out there, and I can feel the difference. It's like right now, me sitting in the chair at my desk in front of this computer, I can feel like, it's a hard thing to explain, but I can feel like from the base of my skull down to the middle of my spine, it almost feels like it's tingling all the time. Now, part of that is kind of, because I've had injuries in the past and stuff like that, but whenever I got out of the city, it is substantially less. It's practically gone. And something even that low-key can have an immense impact on how you feel. I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about emotionally. And when you can feel the difference, pay attention to it next time. Go into a big city where there's towers everywhere and everybody's on Wi-Fi, and then go outside of that area. You will notice a difference. Your mood will change. And if you're constantly surrounded by these bombarding, invading signals, it will eventually drive us mad. You're exactly right. Some places do have bad vibes. That's because you can actually use those vibes to change the vibes of a place. In Exorcist would go in to cleanse a house, from a ghost or whatever, or, even those ghost hunter dudes. One of the main basis things of it is to change the vibrational frequency of that place. Once that's done, you raise the vibrational frequency and it cleanses the house. That is true. So much so that they have a product out right now basically called structured water. But what it is a device set at a specific frequency that structured water. I've talked about this in the previous stream also. And these vibrations clean that water. They order that water. They put it in precise order. And it cleans it, makes it pure. And on top of that, once you have some water that's structured and you put it with other water, this water that you have already structured will structure that other water, and that other water will structure other water, and so on and so on. Say like you have lots of extra cases of water sitting in your garage. You can use that frequency on your water and purify it with the frequency, and then take that bottle of water down to your 6 cases that you have in your basement and set it on top of it and just leave it there. All those other waters will join in that same frequency. I know it sounds magic, right? It sounds like magic. It's crazy. But it's not crazy. It's science. Just straight up science. So when I tell you that you can affect your own emotions, I tell you that with utmost confidence, because I have done it. And if I can do it with my scatterbrained and mean-spirited upbringing, then you can definitely do it. Because I know you people are smart. I know it. You guys, you understand what I'm doing, but you don't put it in practice, maybe. Try it. Just meditation. Calm your thoughts. And allow your mind to go blank. And just be. Some of you might even fall asleep. That's fine. It happens. Practice it. And eventually, you won't fall asleep unless you want to. And that's one of the things I do from right before I go to bed. I practice Reiki, and then I meditate, practice Reiki, meditate again, and then go to sleep. Because by the time my head hits that pillow, I'm ready to sleep. And there is it used to take me minimum an hour to go to sleep before I got into all this. Now as soon as I hit the pillow, and I'm almost out immediately. It's amazing. It really is. Awesome, Alice. Good to see you. But it really does work. Now imagine, since your frequencies have an effect on other frequencies, imagine if we all got on the same wavelength. And we all had one thought. Peace, or, no fighting, or just calm. That would have a huge impact. And it has been proven scientifically and through regular people doing experiments that a group of people getting together can have an effect on those around them. Proven. I've used this example before, Coast to Coast. George Norrie on Coast to Coast did an experiment with his viewers. He has millions of people listening to him every night. He's pretty damn famous. And during the hurricanes, he picked one hurricane and had everyone listening pray or meditate or whatever they specifically wanted to do, and concentrated on turning this one specific hurricane away. And that hurricane was turned away. I mean, even the weathermen were like, we expected it to hit landfall, but it turned. But, I don't put much faith in weathermen in the first place, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. One of the things about gathering for church in the old days, singing together, worshiping together, praying together, had a profound effect on those people there. And once those people, that group of people left that church, they carried that on to other people they came in contact with the rest of that day, and it elevated other people with them. This is the power of the individual and the power of a group of individuals. Yes, intent, focused energy, manifestation. Exactly. I tell you this as many times as I can tell you. You have such potential in you that it is staggering to the mind. You are a being of energy. Using a shell like it's a person getting in and driving a car. Your body is that car, and your soul is that driver. People think we are this flesh. We are not this flesh. We're just using it. Sorry, I had to take a drink. I've been talking a lot. But I know that everybody has this within them. Everybody has it the same way everybody has gut instincts. And I fully trust my gut instincts. Didn't used to ignore them, got into a lot of trouble, bad decision making. You know how it goes. But once I started trusting it, my life started going a lot better. Actually, trusting it, no, first I had to recognize it. Once you recognize it, then you can start to trust it. And you'll find that it doesn't steer you wrong. Your subconscious speaks to you through that gut instinct. And I believe your subconscious is basically your link to your soul. So it could be nothing but good to listen to your gut instincts. There's a lot of things we've lost since I've been growing up. A sense of honor, a sense of peace, so many things that the future needs to know about. And you can teach the future by setting an example. Now, I'm no guru or anything. I'm just trying to relay my experiences. I'm not an expert in any field. Far from it. Say it over and over. I'm a high school dropout, and when I was in high school, I slept through most of my classes. So I didn't really get the education that I was supposed to. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. But it is what it is. And it just took me longer to figure things out. Okay, so I'm a late bloomer. You deal with it and move on. So I look in my past to help me figure out my future. Now, it just so happens that my past was filled with chaotic, just chaos. Nothing really was structured enough for me. But I recognized that I didn't have that. Hey, Nate. Good to see you. It's been a while. But in learning about myself, I learned about others also. And understanding where other people are coming from, what their perspective is, walking a little bit in their shoes. It was an eye-opening experience for me. And the more I tried to walk in other people's shoes, the better understanding I had of the world. Well, that's not the right way to say it. Of the universe, actually. Like I said, I'm nothing special. You guys are right there with me. It's just that I've focused myself on trying to become good. I still fail. But that just adds another opportunity for learning. The Salt Lakers, welcome back. Athlete's foot from walking on other people's shoes. But finding your center and figuring out who you are can be nothing but beneficial to you. And I encourage everyone, search inside yourself, figure out who you are, and then embrace it. Your flaws, your good points, your bad points, all of it. Embrace it. Because it's you. It's who you are. All right, survival. Depend on what time that would be. Got a couple things going on, but go ahead and send me a message. We'll talk about it. But you have this potential that is so huge that I just want to see everybody reach it. Because you deserve to be happy. Everyone does. We don't need this chaos. We don't need the uncertainty. We don't need the drama. It's all manufactured on purpose to keep you an emotional wreck. Don't buy into it. Because the more emotional you are, the more unstable you become. And the more unstable you can become. I mean, I'll give you a small example. Heading to work, listening to the radio. Well, this politician did that. Well, that son of a... and you get pissed off. You might even yell at the radio. This is slight loss of emotional control. Because you feel compelled to scream it from the rooftops. Or at least I do sometimes. Well, one of the frequencies, you're actually listening to it right now, Survival. This is 528 hertz. I have the link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And it is from Thoughts and Meditation Club, their channel. And where is... Oh, there it is. 528, whole body regeneration, full body healing, emotional and physical healing. Both links are in description. I encourage everybody to listen to this once a day. You don't even have to listen to it for the whole time. I mean, you can just have it playing in the background. It works. As long as you can hear it. 528. There's, if you go to Power Thoughts and Meditation Club, that link, there's all kinds of different frequencies that they have on that site. I like this one just because it's general healing and well-being. And plus I have this like little guitar part in my head that goes along with it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, even this, I want to play this so that while you're listening to me, it's imparting healing. And the more we heal, the better off we all are. Emotionally, spiritually, physically. If you raise your vibration to a higher frequency, which you can, you have way less of the time and way less of a chance to get sick. I mean, and I mean sick in many different ways. Physically, emotional, spiritual. Yeah, all of it. Because you can taint your frequency. You can lower it. Higher frequencies are where we need to go. And going back to meditation, it's something that can raise your vibrational frequency. Put you on a higher plane. I'm sure you've heard that before. All right, it isn't quite an hour yet, but I've pretty much just thrown a whole bunch of stuff out there for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link so you guys can come on up and throw in your own 2 cents. All right, there's the link. I'll go ahead and pin that up at the YouTube chat. Pepper Char members. You want me to do my commercial? Is it time for a word from our sponsor? Be all cool with the background music. Oh, I forgot to put this in my Discord. I gotta do this first. Hello, Survivor. Welcome.
Wait a second, I gotta close this out and go back to. I'm on a live
I'm having
chat
trouble
right now,
hearing you.
Christy. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I had to close out of the YouTube.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, "Who the hell are you talking to?"
Hey, give me just a moment. I forgot to put the link in my Discord for YouTube. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I also got it. God's Night. He reminded me of my commercial. So now I'm gonna have to do that.
Well, what's going on, dude? How you feeling today?
I'm right now high right now. Some good news is happening at the moment for Missouri, and
Nice.
and I'm pretty stoked about it. Can't really go
Awesome,
into a
man.
bunch of detail or
Oh
anything,
no,
but
it's all good, man. I'm glad you're feeling good about it, though. I'm glad you're feeling good about yourself. That sounds good to me, man.
yeah, seems like every time I go to work, I'm always like grumpy man. But as soon as I leave work, I'm feeling much better. Probably has
I'm the
something to do
same
with all the
way.
Wi-Fi.
Mate, you never know, man, do you? Like, or how much, where they got them frequencies out. It's probably because the boss wants you to perform physical labor for them. That might be
Uh,
it for me. I just don't know. But I know that when I'm away from there, where I don't have to perform physical labor, I feel a lot better because nobody's making me perform physical labor at an hourly rate.
In all actuality, I kind of like physical labor. I mean, especially with me and my struggle with being a fatty. Um, I always picked the jobs that made me work. I mean, whenever I was working at the hotel, I was huffing, carrying tables and chairs and stuff like that constantly. Um, but this job I have right now, I don't have that strenuous work that I'm used to. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a brain drain job. I don't have to think about anything. I don't really have to do anything other than like lift some trash bags up that might be heavy. Other than that, it's kind of a crap job.
Well, that if you do you feel like are you motivated to get up and go in the morning? Like, are you like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go to work today? Because it's
Oh,
hard for me,
absolutely not.
man. It's really hard for me, dude. It's hard to get that motivation going. It's like, hell yeah, let's go do this shit again for the next fucking couple of days, and then another couple months. That's a
Yeah.
hard motivation, man.
Well, to me, it's work is something I have to go through so I can get off of work and do the things I want to do. That type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing
Um,
it for this. I've been doing it for a long time too. And that's exactly. I mean, if you want to be at a status where you're comfortable in the world, it depends on your comfort level. How comfortable do you want to be? Kind of depends on how hard you want to really.
yeah. Hey, Four Corners. Good to see you. But yeah. I mean, I used to. Well, before I got myself in shape and got myself on supplements and all that stuff, work to me was always dreaded. Even though I know I needed it, keep active, that type of thing, and all that, I dreaded every bit of it. I would bitch and complain the entire time I was there. I can understand why people wouldn't want to work with me sometimes, but now that I've kind of got my brain cleared out and went on this, I hate using the word, went on this little journey about centering myself and figuring out what everything's all about, then I'm generally just happier.
Dude, I'm really glad
I
to hear
don't
about
frown anymore.
it. It's good to hear.
And so
Yeah,
just
I know
something
you have
that
advice for others too.
yeah, and, I figure if I can do it, everybody can do it.
Yeah, so you're here letting us know like what the next steps could be if you're in like a situation that you've been in, right?
Exactly. And it might not work, exactly the way it worked for me, but you can find a way for it to work for yourself. I
Right.
mean,
Everybody's
it's
different.
exactly, and all you got to do is search for
I think
it.
that
Home of the
there's like
fridge.
there's some stuff, dude. There's some things when you're like at a certain age and a certain I don't know, man. I don't know how to even the words for it, but like certain things click and you don't even have to talk about them, but yet there's an understanding of it.
Yeah, you can have a conversation with just a look.
Yeah,
That
and I think
that
that I
rides
do
right
that a
along
lot.
with it.
Yeah, when you're saying things like this, I don't want to interrupt the chat room with what I think that you're talking about in a way, because they're having such a good time, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys want to get
Yeah.
on a level? You want to get on a level, guys? They're like, no,
Yes.
we don't.
Yeah, see,
Not
that's
yet.
one of the things about me doing my monologue right off the bat is that I don't get to read the chat as much as I want because I'm trying to keep it flowing and stuff. But now, when I get somebody else up here, I can kind of peek at the chat too, plus respond.
I mean, if you want to get some of these people on your level, you know, they have to want to be on it.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
gotta understand what you're saying, and you know, the idea of the frequency that you're of the positivity you're putting out is going to be if you pay your positivity to the earth, you will be repaid with positivity back to you. And
That's
and
it.
the same goes. If you want to push out negativity, you will be punished with negativity. It just that's the way it works.
Yep, that's straight to the point right there. You put out what you get back, or you get back what you put out. If I flip that, but yeah,
Yeah, you're much better off finding some frequency where you can feel good about yourself, and then in turn make other people feel good about themselves.
hmm
You know,
and that's what we
let
need
them
for everybody
know
to
that you
do.
like them and stuff. You know, and then everybody feels good. And then, dude, the frequency
It'd be a
starts
lot cheaper.
changing, man.
Yeah, it doesn't even
Starts
have to
getting real
be, hey, I
positive.
like you. You could just be nice, smile. I mean, just a smile will be contagious. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been in horrible moods when I was a young kid, stuff like that, and uh, something as simple as a lady smiling at me as I passed by her brightened me up.
definitely, dude.
I mean, just a guy walking by going, "Hey, what's up?" Even that would elevate me at least a little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's you. If you put out good stuff, it spreads.
yeah.
It might not do a tidal wave. It might
Doesn't
just
have
be a
to.
couple of drops, but it is a change.
It
And if
does. It
everybody
does.
did it, yeah, and if everybody did it at the same time, can you imagine what could be accomplished?
If we did if everybody made so they couldn't do it at the same time. You know, it'd have to be. I don't know. Now I'm thinking of when is the most positive time to do something. I'm trying to think of like somebody's nice, mild, early summer day, right? But where does that happen across the world at all times? But then just at that moment, it's just a random act of kindness day worldwide. Do it at this time in your region when you're like in the most happiness time of your like late spring, early summer climate. I don't know, man. It'd be funny, right?
Can you imagine every day at sundown, everybody across the world, whenever it was sundown in their particular area,
It's a random
everybody
act of
thought
kindness.
of good feelings and
Oh yeah,
projected it
just
outward.
good, yeah, good projection. Yeah, dude.
It would be a constant wave of goodness. See,
You know,
I
I'm
know that's
with you.
possible. I know it is. I have utmost confidence in the human as a whole, human beings as a whole, uh, that we can make this happen. Now, it's not going to be like huge right off the bat, and of course, we're not going to get everybody in on it because, quite frankly, there are just a lot of sourpusses out there.
Yeah,
but
dude. A lot of haters.
but we can bring them along with us just by the wave effect alone.
I've been through all this thought process before, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's very commendable. I don't want to be. It can't only be about thoughts and prayers. There's got to be some sort of action at some point.
We'll see. Thoughts and prayers are action. See, that's the whole thing I'm trying to connect here.
No, I know. I'm with you, and so I'm worried about if I can't say that I'm worried about it. I'm saying if you're overwhelmed in certain areas at this time, I don't know, man.
Well, it
Yeah,
works
I
both
guess
ways.
I should hold faith, right? I should hold faith.
Well, let me jump on the other side of that and say that it works both ways. Because if you get a group of negative people together, it's going to cause a ripple effect that's just the same.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing about life, or at least as far as what I believe.
So you're
If
saying
there
like
is duality,
if I'm seeing like a pretty negative, man, how do I word this? What am I foreseeing here? I see a movement coming, obviously from the left, that wants to. They legitimately want to have some sort of genocide, and they want an end to any people that think right of Gandhi. Anybody that thinks right-leaning of Gandhi, they want gone.
yeah. Well, they've had a massive effect on the population as a whole, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've, along with, the bad food, bad air, and bad water. On top of that, they have beaten us down into a pile of gelatinous fear. Now it's time to turn ourselves back into man. Stand up on our own 2 feet and say, no, I'm not going to allow you to beat me no more. And
That's
this is
where
how
I'm
we
at.
do it. We push back. We
Yeah,
fight their
man.
propaganda with good vibes.
Well, you have to have that in order to get a following of any sort, man. You can't get a following if you're not going to be a good vibe guy. Nobody's following bad vibe guys out
That's
here.
true. Well, I mean, in a sense, there are people out there following bad vibes.
Yeah, well, they
And
don't
those,
even. They think that I think that's the minority, man.
hey, common sense, common law. Good to see you, brother.
I
But
think
yeah,
that's the minority. I think there's people that know a little bit better, especially coming soon. There's going to be, a little bit of an awakening cerebrally or something that people
well,
are just going to people are just going to start getting it. They're like, oh, we're all just being told lies all the time by our TV. I feel
well,
like that's going to happen.
it's also in that same vein. All the stuff that's being told to us is basically lies mixed with truth, mixed with more lies, and then lightly salted. And
Yeah.
and and this is a combatant to that. I said that word wrong, but this combats that because, quite frankly, I can see through it better now that I've changed my vibrational frequency. I
You
can
got a
see through
different
that
view.
easier.
Okay.
Like I said, in this, it gave me clarity.
Sure. So where do you see it going from there then, with the clarity that you see?
I see it never ending. It keeps getting more and more. I mean, think about all the Buddhists and people like that have been studying this type of thing for the longest time. I mean, they can do some miraculous things. I'm Shaolin monks and all that. This is the type of thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All of us can achieve what they achieve. And we can do it faster than they can. Because, quite frankly, they went the long ways around it. But that's a different story.
Oh man. Yeah. You know what? I think that I might be at the end of my rope for Monday night. I might have to drop off here. Somebody else should come up and hang out. You guys,
Right on.
before I drop out,
Hey,
somebody else
patriotism
come up.
fighter. Weird name.
The patriotism fighter. Yeah, that is kind of weird.
It looks like Zach's Yeah, that's probably Zach.
I gotta get going. I'm pretty freaking at the end of the day here.
Right on, dude.
But it
Thanks
was
for
good
coming
hanging
up
out
here.
with
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I like
We'll
hanging out
talk
with you.
later about getting together on Wednesday.
Yeah, I will not be as inebriated when I do that.
Right
But
on.
yeah, I'll send you a message, man.
Right on. All right.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank
dip
you for
out.
coming
Thanks
up.
for
I
having me.
appreciate it. And
Yes,
you
sir.
have a great night, man.
You too, man.
Is at the top of the chat in YouTube. So go ahead and smack that. Follow the instructions. Come on up here and join me. Give me your 2 cents, guys. I mean, this is something that I would think that some of you might have some questions on, or some of you might be able to enlighten me on something. I mean, let's do this. If you have a viewpoint that corresponds or a viewpoint that doesn't, bring it forth. I'm willing to listen, and I'm always willing to hear another point of view. And I don't know, I want to know. So bring it along. Get on up here. We all have the power to get this clarity. We can control this. You can control every aspect of your psyche. Just takes a little practice. I mean, you've heard me say over and over, meditation, meditation. For real, try it. I have solved a few problems with it. And I've noticed it's given me an edge up on a few things that I like doing. Hey, Zach. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that sucks, dude. Oh, that's horrible. I liked him. Hmm. How do you follow up on that? Well, positivity. I could look at it like this. Right now, Duke knows more than I do, and I think that's pretty awesome. Have I ever told you guys how much I thought it would be cool to have a ghost visit me? I used to think that ghosts had a possibility of being real. Now, let me make a distinction here. I believe that there are echoes of spirits. I believe that they're, well, let's use their own terminology in this, I guess, discipline. The veil. I think that some people are sensitive enough to see through part of that veil. And especially when you have a connection with someone, it would make it easier to see through this veil. I don't think that they actually come into our realm. I believe that is a thought echo, memory echo, that between the person who is alive and the spirit that is dead, there is that connection, like a spark that can create sight. I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but I don't believe they cross over beyond the veil. I believe your sensitivity creates the opaqueness or lack of. Oh, is that true? Oh, man. Right now, I'm trying not to go into a rant about hospitals because, quite frankly, that won't help anyone right now. Well, like I said, I believe it's just thickness in the veil, according to our sensitivity. It creates that echo or memory. You know, a lot of them just are trying to do what they're supposed to do. Kind of had to bite that out. I mean, there are people in that profession still that want to do good things. It's just that, quite frankly, I've become a better doctor for myself than they ever could. Now, if I break a leg or something like that, yeah, I'll go to the hospital and get it set right so I can walk. But other than that, I'll take care of myself, thanks. I don't trust hospitals at all. So much so that whenever I was in for my lung surgery, or no, before my lung surgery, whenever I was just basically getting my lung pumped back up, I didn't sleep the entire time I was there. And oddly enough, I wasn't tired the entire time I was there. I was actually in a decent mood, actually, and which was kind of crazy because hospitals, when I was before I got into the conspiracy theories, then I always had misgivings about going into hospitals. I would almost go into a panic if I had to be in a hospital. It brought up, I don't know. There's been several times where I've swung at doctors. You know, here, this will numb your pain. No, it's not numbing my pain. Well, I'll just be a little bit long. No, I'm going to punch you in the side of the head if you keep on digging in my knee. You know, that type of thing. And I've grabbed a few of them by their throats, too. I said, the amount of pain you cause me, I'm going to cause you. And that means I'm going to get a piece of rebar and shove it somewhere. But I digress. The lawsuit's already in the works. Jesus. Yeah, that's right, Rebel Jack. I was getting on live streams and shit while I was in the hospital. I was teaching the docs and nurses and techs and stuff like that. All the stuff they didn't know. That was kind of fun. Yeah, I figure I might as well use my time there for good. And do a little instruction. You know those dumb shits didn't even know about iodine? Are you kidding me? The only thing they knew about iodine is what they put in your veins so they can take the fucking what's it called scans. They had to do that whenever they were checking out my lungs. Oh, iodine, the stuff you pump in your veins, you know, so we can see. No, iodine, 3 drops cleans out your thyroid gland, keeps you from, you know, getting any type of radiation just off the bat. Not to mention it raises your IQ points at least 11 points. Keeps your brain clean from all the gunk gets built up in there with all the trash that's being put in our food, air, and water. No biggie, right? No biggie. Oh, by the way, have you heard about colloidal silver? Silver? Yeah. You know how it kills all those germs? What? You don't know about silver, huh? Jeez, what the hell do they teach you in those medical schools? Just how to fucking be Dr. Death? I get you. You remember way back in the day, whenever doctors would have thermometers, and they would put those in your mouth, and then they would put those in a little jar or a glass or something like that with liquid in it. And every time it was put in your mouth, it had that just slightly weird taste. That's silver. You know why they use silver? Because it killed all the damn germs. And now, they don't use that anymore. Now they have electronic thermometers where they put a sleeve over it. Basically a thermometer condom. And they stick that in your mouth. Well, hopefully in your mouth. Yes, copper. That's a hell of a tool. You can use it for your door handles and all that, just like Rebel Jack's saying in chat. It kills off the germs too. They can't live on that surface. At least not for very long whatsoever. So, if you ever, if you're building a house and you want to keep it relatively germ-free, well, search into copper for your handles. Precious metals aren't precious for nothing. I mean, in case you haven't heard it, I'll go ahead and say this. Back in the old Wild West days and stuff like that, they would travel long distances for many weeks, months, and stuff. And in order to keep their milk from going bad, they would drop that silver in there. They would leave a silver coin in their barrels to keep shit from growing in it. Plain straight up. All right, the link to get up on the stream with me is at the top of the chat. Smack that, follow the instructions, join me up here, give me your 2 cents on whatever's on your mind. Monday night's kind of free and open. Love to talk about good vibes and stuff like that and frequencies, but we don't have to stick to that. Give me 2 cents. Hell, I'll take 3 cents. All right. All right. God's Night, you still in here? There you go, buddy. Now a word from our sponsor. Remember those sweet, warm New England summers? Remember sipping lemonade underneath the shady tree? Remember when you hit that pedestrian with your car at the crosswalk and then just drove away? Well, Vex remembers. But Vex ain't just going to keep this to Vex itself for free of charge. Maybe you go out there and get yourself a bunch of those pocket constitutions and hand them out. Maybe talk a little about our giveaways. This whole thing disappears. And there we are. We're back from commercial. Yeah. Me and Guys Night were having a good laugh about that, so I wrote one up so I could do a little commercial. Is that supposed to be purple? And if it is supposed to be purple, why? Thank you. Glad you approve. Did I say it in the right voice? One of these times I'm going to do it with Bob Dylan voice. Remember those sweet, warm New England summers? I'm laughing too much, can't do it. Yeah. Well, little positivity can go a long ways. Yeah, Bob Dylan doing the commercial. Oh, that's a good idea, though. I have to practice. Now a word from our sponsor. Hello, I'm Bob Dylan. I'm gonna sing a song for you. No? Oh, read the paper. Hi. But yeah, I'm gonna come up with a few more of those. If you guys got some ideas for a commercial that I can manipulate and basically do like that, give me an idea over on Discord, and I'll check it out and see if I can manipulate it and make it into something cool or funny. But you guys not gonna jump up here with me? What the hell? Come on. It's not like I'm making you do work. All you gotta do is talk. I know you can do that. I've heard most of you. Everyone needs Constitution. You got me. Stop it. Yeah, if you got any further ideas for commercials that I could do, please contact me in Discord, and I will attempt to make something up. StreamYard link, top of the chat. It's real. I see you seeing it. I see you seeing it now. Come on. I see you eyeballing it. You know it's there. I know it's there. All you gotta do is touch it. Touch it. Do it. Just a little click. Click. Come on. Click it. Follow those instructions. Put them headphones on. Key up your mic and get on up here. Come on. There's 8 people in here right now. And I know perfectly well that all 8 of you are good talkers. Everybody's got stage fright. Yeah, Veritas, stop forgetting about that. That's where the cool kids hang. I'll tell you what. I tell you what. What do you want the topic to be? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Rebel Jack has nominated Veritas and Ricky for the dream. Chimichangas. So, guys, Knight's throwing up the subject or topic of chimichangas. What do you got? All right, chimichangas. What do they have in them? I know they taste good, but what do they have in them? Oh, we have a second. God's Knight has second the motion. All right, we'll open it up for discussion. Right now, Veritas and Ricky are supposed to come up. discussion on the motion? I know, I want a chimichanga too. I like them, but they don't like me. We have any discussion on getting up on StreamYard with me? Come on. I still haven't gone to the store and bought groceries, so crap. I don't have anything to munch on. All right. Chimichangas is a topic that isn't wearing very well. Oh, we have another nomination. Do we have a second? Veritas is nominating Rebel Jack. Oh, okay. The discussion has been made for Ricky and Veritas. The discussion. Ricky joined late and had a short time on Friday. Veritas hasn't been on live in a long time. Both points are good. You have to at least concede to that. Those are factual words. As a matter of fact, let's see, of the nominees, Rebel Jack has been on the most recent. Further discussion? Questions? Comments? All right. The chat is not moving, so I will assume there's no further discussions. So what we will do is go into who is not in favor of this. Give me the nays in the chat. Any votes against? Going once? Going twice? 3 times. Any abstentions? Is anyone abstaining? Abstentions going once? Abstentions going twice? Abstentions going 3 times a lady. And with that, the motion of Ricky and Veritas joining me up on stream. All the nays, please. Or actually, no, did I see yays? No, yeah. Going with the nays, not the nays. Damn, I'm just all backwards. We got any yays? Nobody voting? What the hell's going on out there? Come on, lean forward. The keyboard is not that far away. We have 2 for I. So far, that's the leading votes. Not everybody has voted yet. Damn it, don't make me make a poll, because I don't think I've ever done that before. We're in the middle of a motion, Veritas. I'm going to have to call it if I don't get any more votes. We have 3 minutes total to do this. Come on. All right. Last of the votes for the yays. Going once. Going twice. 3 times a lady. Motion carries. Ricky and Veritas, get your butt up here. So saith the assembled. And then we had another motion on the floor. Hope and change. Sure, Veritas, they all say that. I'm just completely just having a conversation with chat. All right. The second motion on the floor was Veritas. I nominate Rebel Jack. All right. We'll go ahead and open discussions for Rebel Jack joining us on the panel. Veritas, you're out of order. Discussion on Rebel Jack joining us on the panel. The floor is open. I don't think that qualifies as discussion, God's Night. Obama blew that one, Nate. Yeah, that's a different topic. Please stick to the matter at hand. We have a motion on the floor. All right. Discussion. I'm cutting. Gave my headphones to Veritas. Oh, that's like half good and half weak there, because we know you gave your headphones to Veritas so that you can make her come up. The cooking thing, that's a good one. I understand that one. Further discussion. What's you can't get the link to open. God's Night, you can't bring forth a motion until this motion is resolved. And it would be kind of tough to have that nomination just because that person is not here. Did you break it, Veritas? You have to think good, positive vibes. Center yourself, and then center the phone. The motion is not in disarray. You're out of order. Yeah, I know, Rebel. He's hiding. Deep fried ham sandwiches. You are completely out of order, God's Night. All right. Discussion for Rebel Jack. Going once. Going twice. Once again. 3 times a lady. Hey, I'm getting a little bit every time. Now we go into the nays. Is anyone against Rebel Jack joining us on the panel? Put in your nays. Okay. Let me redo it then. Or actually, I just throw it in chat. Here, try this one. All right. Nays going once. Nays going twice. Nays going... Wait a minute. Did I already do that? Yeah. I like wheat, but I also like rye. Maybe 1 wheat and 1 rye? I like that. You ever tried 2 different styles of bread on one sandwich? Hello, Veritas. Thank you so much for joining me up on the panel with all the peer pressure. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I had to first find where the mute and unmute was.
Right on. Yeah, thank you for joining me up here. Peer pressure.
No problem. I know it's a bitch.
I don't know. I just, misery loves company.
I guess.
So, do you have any personal feelings about any of the stuff that you've heard tonight? What's your take on it?
I don't know, just that I've been feeling kind of... Well, I've been sick for the past couple of days, so I've just been kind of taking...
Wow, you just turned into a robot and went into a tin can.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when I try to use this thing. That's why I never get in here. That's why Discord is so much better, because StreamYard hates me.
Oh, man.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah. It's just I couldn't understand anything of what you were saying before, though.
Oh. Well, I've been sick for the past...
All right, that was not her mute. She just stopped. Yeah, gotta love the internet. Gotta love technology. Actually, no, you don't. I don't recommend it. And let's try this again.
Hello again. So I don't know what's going on. It just disconnected me.
All right, it's showing that you're running video. I'm gonna adjust that.
Well, not now. I turned it off. I just did.
I still see it. Maybe it's frozen.
No. Well, you can't see anything because I have it covered.
Yeah. There you go. My immersion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, you said you weren't feeling well. Didn't hear much past that.
I've been sick for the past couple of days.
And so is her connection. All right, Veritas, I won't put you through this unless you want to come back up. You don't have to keep coming back. All right, our motion on the floor was for Rebel Jack to join us up here on the panel, along with Ricky, who's supposed to be, not lurking and joining us as well. So we're up to the yays. All right, give me a yay in chat if you want Rebel Jack to join us up here on panel. It's YAY or YA. I guess that would be but yay. Lurching and marking. Hey Veritas, go and throw the headphones at Rebel. Don't break them though. Thank you for coming up and hanging as long as you did, Veritas. I appreciate it. Thank you for caving to peer pressure. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Veritas. Discord is better. Clearer signals. More stable. Well, to bring this back around, don't worry, be happy. There it is in a nutshell. Good night, everybody. Just kidding. Yeah, I know. It's cool, Veritas. Yeah, I'm just basically giving you guys static anyway. Having a little fun. For the first, for those of you who are listening later, the first half of the broadcast was basically me doing, my rant. Ricky, that's just liar, liar, pants on fire. That comes to mind. All right, Rebel Jack, that'd be cool. Damn, I was gonna say something. You showed remarkable restraint, Veritas. I believe you. I believe you. Yeah, it is a bit cold. Yeah, today was the first day here in Missouri of just kind of bitter cold winds. It was a nice chilly day today. If the wind wasn't blowing, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad. But that wind was, yikes! Don't want to be out there getting wind blasted like that. Unfortunately, at lunchtime, I had to basically stand outside for a half hour, so that kind of sucked. But other than that, it was all right. Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Veritas. Yeah, let's see. He said, what did he say? Yeah, a couple minutes. He gonna finish what he's doing, which is cool. Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The first half of my broadcast was pretty much the meat and taters of the broadcast, and this is just kind of the last half being, just hanging out, spreading those good vibes. $18. Jeez. Mine got what was it? I want to say 40, but right now it's at 26, or at least that's what my stupid computer says. I don't believe it though. It lies to me a lot. Stupid computer. Cybertoxin. Welcome, Cybertoxin.
What's going on, man?
Hey, just hanging out and spreading some good vibes. What you got going on?
Nothing much. Just looking for some good vibes to pick up on.
There you go. Oh, everybody can use
Hey.
some.
We got A and B. Let's see what we can get together. Is the Veritas coming back?
Say that again?
Is Veritas coming back?
Oh no, her connection is crap, and StreamYard hates her.
Equipment and technical issues.
Yeah, she had that problem a long time ago. I think that's one of the reasons why she quit going up on panels. Veritas, she's got the warmer spot. Everybody else has got colder weather. Crazy. Well, I guess it is further south, so that makes sense.
I'm in Texas. It's not been too bad.
Yeah, she's basically down around that area, Arizona.
Yeah.
That southern half of the states. Yeah, you guys are going to have better weather. At least this time.
Well, if the extra humidity we've been having here doesn't clear out and let some cool air in, it's going to force its way in, and I'm afraid we're going to be iced over.
Well,
and if it gets really cold like it did last year, the ice is going to stick around. But, that's just worst case scenario. I'm kind of turning a mountain or a molehill into a mountain.
Yeah. Well, I actually think I won't get into the reasons why, but I think it's going to be a more screwed up than usual winter. Welcome, Rebel Jack. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Howdy, howdy.
We didn't even get through all the votes, man, and you came up.
Yeah, I tried to pawn off the headphones and it didn't work, so I ended up with the headphones again. So it was more mandatory.
Peer pressure. I had to change the name of the stream to peer pressure panel. I forced people to get up there to talk to me. Yeah, it does work better on Discord, Veritas. I agree with you. And to tell you the truth, I wish there was a way I could actually do the live stream from Discord. That'd be kind of cool. But I doubt you can do that.
I wish the noise suppression technology of Discord was applied to StreamYard, and then you wouldn't need headphones. That would be amazing.
Actually, that would be a great idea. Just a freaking overall EQ that the person running the stream could adjust. Oh, that would be magnificent.
Yeah, because some people come in way too hot, like myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're pretty solid, though. It's just when you go roboto.
Yeah. And I also know not to talk too loud. Otherwise, everybody's going to throw their phone on the floor and stomp it because it hurts.
Yeah, blow my eardrums out.
Domo arigato.
Yeah, dono arigato, Mr. Roboto.
For doing the job that nobody wants to. That sounds pretty interesting. Nowadays, back then, he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And he didn't really have the hardcore metal vibe. It was like a Jethro Tull for the eyes.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, Veritas, I'm not harping on you or anything. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate you trying.
But please understand my statement is coming from not necessarily my own perspective, but the perspective of someone who was into the more typical metal bands at the time, like Iron Maiden and, you know,
Pantera,
can't really think
Slayer,
of too many others.
Exodus,
Yeah,
Testament, Metallica,
Yeah.
obviously,
Oh yeah,
true.
everybody.
Van Halen,
Yeah, Metallica stuck
I can think
around
enough.
long enough to transition through a lot of different things.
Yeah, they just started playing their old stuff that they didn't put through the first time.
Yeah,
The stuff that didn't
recycled.
quite. Yeah, basically. Hey, let's redo all the ones we didn't put on albums. Okay, we'll just put them out there anyway, even though they were the ones that were rejected by the band because they weren't up to snuff or one way or another. And then they just put it out anyway and said, here's your load of shit.
Now there's also things that just aren't put out because it's not time for them, you know.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't
I've
know.
written some things that I wouldn't want to just release right then when I had made them, and some of those things I have released now, like this year.
That instantly made me think about a song I wrote. It was like one of the first songs I wrote. And the title it was called Fire Breathing Bitch.
Good.
I will never ever play that for anyone.
It's hot.
It was such a hokey song. It was almost like cut and paste song writing. It was horrible.
You know what they say about dating a fire breathing bitch? It's like sharpening lead swords. What's that mean? Well, if one doesn't mean anything, the other won't either. You just have to be there. You just have to try it. You have to try it and find out.
Yeah, it was just a girl
It's
that
no
ticked me
point.
off.
Is dangerous and pointless.
Those were funny days.
I like some good poetry, especially old writings that have come back to life and been revamped.
Oh, we lost Rebel. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll come back. But yeah, poetry I never really got into just because of all the flowery aspect of it. But I didn't realize that it could have had a deeper meaning. So I was looking at it pretty much superficially growing up. So I was pretty much just like, yeah, whatever. But when I started writing songs a little bit later, I was like, oh, I get it now. Welcome back, Rebel.
Yeah, it's all just expression.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, and I was kind of the meathead when I was younger, so yeah, I was, I didn't look at it that way. I was just like, sappy shit. Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
those were the things that were being pushed,
yeah,
you know, because that was pretty much the social temperature
yeah,
at
and
that
then
time. I'm guessing like 15 years ago, something like that.
at least. But then you get
Yeah.
into like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that kind of was, I guess, more mainstream. I guess would that be the right way to put it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then I started seeing the different levels to the type of poetic talk, and plus that was around the time when I started, getting into music and stuff like that, and wanted to write songs, and I was like, Okay, I'm getting a little bit more. Now I kicked myself because I didn't pay attention when I was younger.
We can bring that kind of stuff back. It was usually older people who wrote those things. You
Well, I
know,
mean, I got a couple of notebooks full of lyrics, that I got, and I wouldn't quite call them poems, but I mean, I guess they could fall under that classification. Maybe I'll try a dry read of one of them and see what happens.
I just recently revamped one of my own that I wrote a long time ago. It's just kind of a real weak melody to a song, but the words were pretty good. I made
Right.
it sound more poetic though. Like most of the stuff, I don't know if you've looked at the uploads I've made, but they're more of a prose kind of thing. You know, not any kind of not a whole lot of abstract going on, not any kind of painting a scenario. It's more just like a telling a tale with words in
Yeah.
rhyme. But the one I'm working on for December is actually rather poetic. It's kind of poish. It's not flowers and stuff at all.
Hmm.
If you'd like to hear it, it's
Yeah.
I'm gonna dedicate it to A Clockwork Orange, and it's gonna have overtones from Alice in Wonderland, um, based on the Walrus and the Carpenter story and the weak-willed oysters.
I
The
honestly have to
poem,
say I don't know what a couple of those things are, but keep going.
A Clockwork Orange is a,
Oh, I
you know that,
understand what that one is.
right? Um, the Walrus and the Carpenter story was told to Alice by Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Ah,
I'm
I
gonna have
remember.
the Cuomo brothers featured on those two.
Nice.
Um, I was also thinking about having them as the Walrus and the Carpenter, but I've only got like a week left, and I just finished the audio because I just recently finished the words, so I've only got a week to do the visual art, so it probably won't be that stunning, it won't be that involved, not as much as I would like.
Well,
The
I'm sure it'll
poem
be
though
good.
is the poem is deep. It's called Beware the Walrus. It says, trading day for night to ease the burden of the sun, riding waves in light of tide as ebb and flow have just begun, turning undertow and rising shore to fell the sky for idle minds, impression, burning idols in the eye, blind of truth to lie in darkness deep, reflecting shine, safe beneath the surface, waiting, pearls to feed the swine, stars on par for course to lead illusion over line, far beyond the seal, to source confusion of the mind, wild, jagged twists and turns to blur and redefine, the reason meaning meant to be became symbol redesigned, likened unto moon, and giving chase despite demise, the wolves in man for cold and hunger howl in reprise, as demons dance for bloody hands bound to hold the ties that bind the purposeful to fist, cast in anger to the skies. The time has come to be consumed while the ocean continues to rise. The end.
Nice. Sounds almost like it reminded me of kind of a nightmare I had once.
It was very good. I enjoyed that.
Me too.
The Walrus and the Carpenter story that Tweedledee and Dum tell to Alice is about, well, Lewis Carroll wrote a poem. I'd rather not recite that. It's very long and wordy and weird. But it's by Lewis Carroll, called The Walrus and the Carpenter. That poem is not in the Disney cartoon. The Disney cartoon is kind of a compressed version,
Right.
but it's a cautionary tale talking about the walrus and carpenter walking on the beach, and the walrus sees oysters laying in their bed, or the carpenter sees them, and he starts walking up like he's going to smash them with their hammer because he's hungry. And instead, the walrus has him build a house while he talks to the oysters. And the mother oyster is trying to tell him that they're not supposed to be leaving their bed. This is where, they're supposed to stay right now, this time of year. And he comes off with this weird little quote about cabbages and kings and ships and sealing wax and a bunch of shiny things. He's talking about this and that. Starts playing his cane like it's a pipe. And all the oysters just cheer up and they start smiling and they follow him. And he goes into the house the carpenter built and they cook him and eat him. Well, the walrus eats them. The carpenter is fetching the bread from the kitchen, and the walrus eats all the oysters while the carpenter's gone.
Nice.
That's the scene from the Disney cartoon.
Huh.
The poem actually shows a bit more of a weak will and just that sudden destruction coming on the oysters, and they didn't even know it, because suddenly the poem shifts to talking about how the oysters all of a sudden didn't have anything to say because they'd been eaten.
That would do it.
It had been kind of a dialogue, and then the oysters had nothing else to say because they were eaten.
They had no more voice.
Yeah. But it seemed to go right in hand with the Clockwork Orange, appearing to be a living organism on the outside, but didn't have any will of its own, just served to be wound up by the hand of something else.
Huh.
Idle minds.
Well, stuff I write ain't that good.
I spent like 3 weeks on it, and I already had what I wanted to talk about, the theme and quite a few lines and keywords. I just had to refine it all and put it into something that was poetic like that and stimulating for the mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and go through some poems just so I can get the flow of how poems go. I remember when I first started, listening. Well, go figure, it was because of a chick. But this chick I knew was really into poetry, and she would come up with some lyrics and stuff like that every once in a while for me, and we'd collaborate in that way. But she had this flow about her that I always liked. And if I use that in some of the stuff I got, plus some new stuff, maybe I could come up with way better stuff. No, maybe I'll start up a music channel.
If I may.
Yes, go ahead.
If
please.
I may. Okay. Yes. There's a couple different rhyme patterns, as I'm sure you know a few of them, but you can elaborate with rhymes you've already written and then rearrange them into those patterns. You might have to do some adjusting and such to, make the whole sentence flow better, if you will. But I like to do a few different categorizings of the sentences I'm rhyming, especially if they aren't necessarily connected to a larger, like chorus or stanza aspect, and they're more open and free verse kind of aspects. I'll take those, find what rhymes better with those, even from like lyrics or poems or whatever I wrote, a year or two ago. And then I'm like, oh, these work good together, and I'll rearrange them together. So you can take all your lyrics and basically catalog them in this sort of Dewey Decimal System, but reverse based on how they're rhyming at the end, and then recategorize and reformat the songs that way.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of my my notebook that I have for my lyrics and stuff like that, I start from the back of the notebook, and I just write down phrases or something that rhymes that I like, just all kinds of stuff all over pages and stuff like that. And then I'll go through and pick out different ones and see if I can, match them with anything and make a song out of it. Or I'll come up with an idea and go, oh, I thought of something earlier and wrote it down. And, that's kind of what you were talking about right there. What was she calling? Veritas, what are you calling Bull on?
Probably me.
Nah, she was saying me. She was calling Bull on that Vex. What are you calling Bull on?
Bouillon?
Bull on Bullion.
Oh, did you see my comment? You said misery loves company, and I put misery loves Kentucky.
Yeah, I saw that. That's fucked up.
It's good though. I like it
It is
because it's kind of true,
Yeah. We have been taking pointers from Kentucky.
Well, yeah, you guys are like the states all in that cluster over there. They're like the heartland, right? And the heartland has to stay together to keep the beat of America going, while the coasts are just like got scabs and zits and cuts all over them from the lacerating liberals.
Oh, Veritas said, what you said about not writing anything that good. Oh, I'm not saying I'm crap. I'm just not saying I'm great at it. I do come up with a few
Wind
things
picked
that
up.
I really, really like, but yeah. What's that?
Wind picked up.
Uh-oh.
Is it coming through?
I don't hear any.
All right. I got to double check. My audio will pick random stuff up.
Yeah, that one thing that Cybertoxin said reminded me of a kind of a nightmare, seriously. And I'm trying to find the lyrics I wrote down for it. Ah, here it is. Check this out. I think I read this to you guys in voice chat over in Discord once, or wrote it in the chat, one of the two. But dreaming of forgotten lands, walking blindly among the damned, pain and despair is where you stand, becoming one with the fall of man. Walking the earth in a dream, knowing nothing is what it seems. A child's eyes start to gleam, as life's axe cuts real clean. Mental wounds sustaining me, comprehending tragedies. In choosing your eternity, what will it be? Life, death, or insanity? That's the gist of it.
Now do it again in the Bob Dylan voice.
Dreaming of forgotten lands, walking blindly among the damned. Pain and despair, is where you stand, becoming one with all the man. I'm walking this earth in a dream, knowing nothing is what it seems. The child's eyes starts to gleam, and everybody must get stoned. Oh, sorry. Nice. Once I start laughing, I can't go back into it.
No. You broke the
This reminded
seriousness.
me of a dream.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically the nightmare thing that I wrote about that reminded me of.
Well, when you say it like Bob Dylan, it's not so bad.
No, it was like really good.
It's not as scary. It's not as scary.
Yeah, he does take the
So-
sting out of it, doesn't he?
That you're just versatile like that. You can go either way.
I'm gonna play some real happy music to go along with it instead of the dun 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 dun.
You know, do you want one to think really hard, you know, and inspire them to have some kind of thoughts, or do you just want to help them be at one with their thoughts?
Well, this could probably drive people out of their thoughts. So it was kind of therapy, me writing it.
Right?
Yeah, I was plagued with all kinds of nightmares when I was younger, and writing them down helped kill them.
That it does.
Yeah, that's another lesson for everybody. I mean, what a lot of people like write journals and stuff like that, or keep a journal. I mean, that's not a bad practice. I mean, for me, it's not a journal; it's a songbook, but it's my thoughts being put down in song, or actually put down in lyrics, to eventually be put to song. So yeah, working through it every little bit. You must face them before you can conquer them. I'm looking through lyrics and stuff. Yeah.
It's always a fun wormhole to just go over memories of things that you actually consciously thought of for a moment, and then reinvigorate those memories more deeply than you could have by just remembering them, because there was something more, solid that you were referring back to of how you were thinking more accurately at that point in time.
Yeah. With me, I always try and go with broad strokes whenever I'm writing, just so I don't get too specific on certain things. Like, for instance, I've had several times where people is like, write a song about me. And I'm just like, I don't work like that. It has to be inspired, and I have to have somewhere solid to start with. And my personal experiences is the most solid foundation I've ever had. So, I mean, I can't write. I used to be able to write goofy shit just left and right. Give me a topic and I'll start writing a song about it. It won't be serious or anything like that, but I could do that and it'd just be BS. But this is bringing the inside out, getting it out of my head, that type of thing. So, like I said, I mean, a journal, things of that nature would be good therapy for a lot of people. Most people can get through it without writing it down. I knew a guy, well, I kind of do it myself, but I used to know a guy that would basically, well, it's kind of how I learned how to put a cap on some of my anger, but he would rant and rave for 10 minutes straight about whatever was ticking him off. And then as soon as he was done, he was good. He didn't, he basically ran through the emotion at warp speed and got through it and got the energy of it out. And then after that, he was good to go. I mean, even if I would have walked up and punched him in the nose, he'd have been pissed off, or most likely we would have fought. But it's say we didn't want to fight about it. He would basically bitch and moan for a good 10 minutes straight, and then after that we can be like, all right, let's go and hang out first, or go play, or whatever it was. And tools can be found everywhere. I didn't even realize that's where I got it until I dredged up that memory. Awesome. Gonna have to send him a thank you note.
It's only a few years behind, but you know.
Well, I mean, better late than never, I guess. I always try and give credit where credit's due, and that dude helped me, and I didn't even realize it. I remember standing there while he was ranting and raving, just going, "Get it over with, dude. Come on, we gotta go." Tools everywhere. Lessons to be learned all the time. Now, what kind of dreams has Veritas been having? Did she sit up, bolt upright in bed and scream about purple tomatoes?
No. She will mumble and talk in her sleep, though.
Huh? Who are you communicating with?
Well, I'm not communicating to nobody at that point because she's tapped into another realm.
Yeah, that's what I was asking her, and I was responding to her, though. It says, one where I can actually hear myself talking in my sleep, interacting with characters in my dream. Yeah, who are they? I mean, in general, you don't have to go into detail. That's kind of interesting. I've met a few sleepwalkers and stuff like that you could have entire conversations with and not know that they were asleep if you didn't know they had already gone to bed. And it's been interesting. A couple of times they would talk to other people and there was nobody else there. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never understood that. Never understood how anyone could sleep so deeply. But that's only because I can only understand it from my way of sleeping, which is very light. Like somebody walks into a room that I'm sleeping in and I'll wake up.
Yeah, I kind of used to be that way too. Mainly when I was younger. The older I got, the more I got to love my sleep. So I guess I started sleeping deeper, I guess. I can't explain it. But yeah, I didn't really understand it, but sorry, I'm reading chat. I got distracted.
It also depends on your fatigue level before you go to sleep and your comfort in where you're sleeping before you go to sleep, that how much you can process danger, potential while you're sleeping. So if your potential danger awareness while you're sleeping is higher, that you won't sleep as deep. You're more in tune to every little, noise, be it a leaf or a windstorm out the window, waking you up, thunder waking you up or whatever. But I tend to sleep almost the best on like firework holidays like 4th of July, New Year's, stuff like that, and through thunderstorms. I sleep the best. Takes a while to go to sleep sometimes, but once I go to sleep, I'm used to all the loud bangs and pops all night going to sleep, that when I hear bangs and pops during sleep, it's not waking me up.
Right.
I've always enjoyed storms, so I always sleep like a baby during them. It was my best sleep ever, even when I was younger and slept lightly.
Yeah, I like rainstorms or thunderstorms. Like as long as it's something constant, that's really helpful.
Yeah. No random lightning strike out of nowhere kind of stuff. That'll wake you up.
Yeah.
All quiet.
Yeah, that'll do
What
it.
the hell is that?
But if you're already in the frame of
I
mind of there's a storm going on and then there's bangs and stuff like that, you're already mentally prepared for it. So you automatically identify it while you're sleeping. And so it's no big deal. So it keeps you in that rested state. But yeah, hell, a good example of that is I've been able to fall asleep with music blaring, like cranking decibels of, basically turning all the way up to 11. And and I've slept great. I mean, I've slept to metal bands like Disturbed and hell, I even fell asleep to Slayer once.
I used to play Slayer and Metallica and Pantera CDs on repeat loop on my, back when you actually had a stereo with a CD player in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play it in there while I slept, and I wouldn't have it blasting too loud because my parents would complain, but I would play it and it would relax me. I don't know, there's something more about the depth of like heavy metal sounds that resonate in my, mind that calm me more than when I listen to like high pitched sounds like on a classic country or Iron Maiden stuff. Because Iron Maiden's more on the higher pitch range, and that bothers me more than low range metal music and stuff.
Yeah. There's something to be said to that.
Is Megadeth still touring? Just random question if anybody knows.
I don't know. Maybe in Japan because they've been hot in Japan past few years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're still jamming though, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Iron Maiden too. Iron Maiden's come out with some good new songs, and Megadeth has come out with good new songs. Metallica's just the one that's like, all right, let's remake some B sides.
Yep.
It's pretty badass. Not that last part. B sides are just, hey, we'll fill some time, kill some time. Anybody
Some of them
who
are
really
good,
likes
though.
our stuff, anybody who really likes our stuff, they'll buy it and forgive us later.
Man, they lost a lot of fans when they did that, though. Diehards. I mean, I remember when we all went to the freaking mall and bought Load. I mean, I didn't buy it because I was a broke guy, but everybody went out and bought Load, and we put it in the car CD player, and I was listening to it on the way home, and everybody's just kind of silent after we heard it all. Just looking at each other like, what happened? What? Who is that? I mean, it was just a total disappointment because we were looking for something at least along, the Black Album. And this came out, and it's just like, where's Metallica?
That's how I feel about some.
What's
I
that?
feel that way about some Sublime songs and some Aerosmith songs and Chili Pepper songs. Like on albums, you're like, cool, and you listen to it, and then it goes to another song, and you're like, what the hell is this? This is not what I was listening to on the radio. Especially Sublime. Sublime will go some crazy routes that you're like, this isn't even enjoyable. How is this on a CD? The same with Chili Peppers. Chili Peppers is like, it's all, you get the hit songs, and you go to a random song on the CD, and you're like, what the hell is this? Is this a different band? Who sold me a bootleg in an official CD case?
Yeah, a lot of them get changed whenever they sign deals and stuff like that. But bands like Metallica and evidently Sublime, they're just playing B sides, even when they shouldn't. But whenever Avenged Sevenfold changed their basically the way they did stuff, that crippled a bunch of people.
Yeah, they got too soft.
Yeah. I mean, one of the guitarists I watch on YouTube, he was talking about him at one point and said, "Yeah, we went from this," and he played an excerpt of one of their solos on guitar, and it was badass and melodic as hell and hit all the right tones. I mean, it was beautiful. And then he plays, oh shit, which song is it? Damn it, I'm drawing a blank.
Backcountry?
No, it was
It's the only one I could think of. So, yeah.
Damn. It kind of
All I could think of when you said backcountry was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the movie.
I thought about
country.
I thought about Han of the Wu.
Who?
Han of the Wu, in the Na Chi area over in the Far East, the epicenter.
Okay, got you.
I'm trying to be Cody.
Yeah, got you. Oh, Mr. Han, hello. How are you? I've seen better days.
Ni hao. It's actually hello, I think, if I pronounced it right.
Yeah, that's a language I didn't learn.
That's all I learned. Which is okay.
If anybody ever learns Bidenese, let me know, because we need to figure out what the hell he's saying.
Man, I don't speak lobotomy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He lost his voice and his speech impediment all at the same time. It was weird.
Maybe he had a stroke. I don't know.
And just recently, it's like, it's odd.
He's odd. That sounded like a 8-cylinder.
Some heavy metal.
Yeah. That's the beginning of the song right there. Damn, I'm still trying to think of the damn Avenged Sevenfold song. But basically, it's playing a guitar tune that's very basic as the lead rhythm part. It's like just over and over and over and over. And it was basically a severe letdown. I mean, this guy used to play just melodic sweep picking and things like that, and he's down to this basic stuff again. And the worst part about it is the song itself could have been so much better. It's like the guitarist didn't even try. It's like, I'm taking a break on this one.
If you had to pick one of these two ailments, would you say that they have run out of ideas, or would you say that OCD has taken over?
Actually, I would pick number 3. Number 3 would be that the record company that they signed with basically did their thing with them. Because, quite frankly, all the record companies are propaganda machines.
Right. Okay, so it's a systematic OCD.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're like, this is what our records show that will improve sales, and our team of specialists, quote unquote, have said that you need to go this route or take this change or cater to this crowd.
Yeah, basically, to put it shortly, they said, we're going to open you up to a better demographic. And they went, oh, sounds great. And then they did. They lost half their fans and got a bunch of people who just went, oh, these guys are cool.
Right, and they'll be on to the next cool thing tomorrow because they
That's
don't
right.
get it.
That's right. They have no idea what music's supposed to be about because it's been manipulated throughout the years by these record companies, and they've been holding a monopoly. Now the internet's provided a platform for other musicians to do more free things with their music, and quite frankly, musicians are doing it very well on the internet. Independent artists.
Yeah. You know, the fight against Napster wasn't really about reserving the right to make money. It was about reserving the right to creative, artistic expression and the customer base that caters to it. Because when people can control the flow of customers to the creator of the product, then they can create or remove interruption at their will.
Mm-hmm.
And Metallica has some old wisdom in their circle, not necessarily in their band, but they knew a good deal about what was trying to be implemented.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of people try and push back against it, and a lot of them are still doing really well. And
absolutely.
the ones that sell out, cash out, spend their cash, and burn out. That's what they do.
So that's kind of
bright and shining Ignis Fatuus in the sky. No one understands that it's up there because there's a swamp underneath, just spitting a bunch of gas out into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a gas light.
That was actually my plan for a while when I first started getting into music. I wanted to be a rock star and sell out immediately. Get me a cool couple mil or whatever it would have been, and make basically have go for one album and give out a shit album basically, and then go from there and go take all that and reinvest it and build my own studio basically, and then do my music after I've completed my contract with the record company.
Just release a double album, your first shot, and then a single teaser, and then the album is crap, and then another single, and a crap album. And then you sell it.
Yep.
So the Chili Peppers route?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to do. Get like a one record deal, and then, and put it out, it's be all the, B-side stuff that I don't care about. And then take that money I make from there and then parlay it into, basically become an independent artist with it and say the hell with the record company. But I was never good enough to do that.
Well, if all your friends are doing it, then you probably should too. And if you end up getting in trouble, that just means you need better friends.
Well, see, that was actually one of the things about it too. Is I had a name for the album and everything. It was going to be the Sellout album. Just plain up in your face.
Spell it all fancy nowadays with CELL instead.
Sell
like to put an E on the end of it, make it sound French.
Sell it.
Salute.
But yeah, that's a good point, Veritas. Upchurch. That guy has been crazy popular, and he's been independent from the get-go. And he's never going to sign with any type of label. I've been following him a little bit. And yeah, he's got it made. As long as he keeps pumping out the good shit he does, it ain't going to stop. That dude's going to become the next Elvis
genres.
type. What's that?
He does 3 genres too.
Oh,
and he's covered Elvis.
Yep.
He redid an Alice in Chains song.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. I almost put it on one of the playlists that I'm making. If you ever want to to go into a brain hole or a rabbit hole or whatever, you should check out one of the playlists or any of the playlists that I've made. The ones with the hashtags are relative to a video or an upload that I've made, depending on which one you get. But the last one I made, I put a Megadeth song in there, the Lord of the Flies, or no, Iron Maiden song, Lord of the Flies. And that's actually the dystopian novel that I dedicated my last upload to.
Lord of the Flies, just trivial knowledge, is the basis of the entire show Survivor.
Yep.
Yeah, by that.
Because I think Mark Burnett, that's what his inspiration was in creating the show. So, it's what
Nice.
he created. He was reading a book, and it was like, this would be an awesome game show, and then turned it into a game show, and now it's become its own Lord of the Flies within Lord of the Flies. Although it's sometimes more Children of the Corn, but it's subtleties.
Yeah, you do have a lot of stuff on your page or on your channel, Cybertoxin.
Yeah, I think I've got 7 uploads now, and most of them have a playlist attached to them in the description.
Yeah.
It keeps my videos out of the auto suggest algorithm, and that has its pros and cons.
Right.
But I've heard that they really don't like links to playlists. I think one reason why is because you can change those videos. So I could arrange something at one date, talk to people and say, hey, check my playlist, and update it every single day and put different videos in there and just communicate with people with random videos.
Well, hell, now it makes sense that I haven't been getting any notifications from your channel.
Right. Well, I haven't made any uploads since November 15th. I'm just doing one every month.
Yeah, I see. The last one was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. December 15th is Wear Your Pearls Day.
Is it?
Ironically enough, or coincidentally enough, yeah. Wear Your Pearls Day. Actual pearls are not required to participate. It has to do with letting your true potential shine, being active in who you are intrinsically, basically. Despite all the dirt and everything, your environment and all that going on around you, you make the best out of things by being the best you can be.
Sounds
like Joe
good.
Dirt said, he said, life's a garden. You dig it, make it work for you.
There you go. Wisdom from Joe.
This where you want to be if Jesus comes back and making fun of poor little Joe Dirt?
I think I'm going to go ahead and start bringing this to a close, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost 1 o'clock where I'm at, and my notebook just fell off. Great. Okay. Well, Blue-Eyed Panther showed up at the end. Good timing. Hey, Panther. Basically, you put out what you get back what you put out. I said it both ways just because I knew I'd screw it up. Like I said, it's about almost 1 o'clock here, and that means that old Vex has to get his butt to bed so he can get up in the morning and do his work thing that he doesn't enjoy. So, we'll go ahead and do some closing comments real quick and bring her to a close. What do you think, Cybertoxin?
Well, I think that my closing comment is adulting sucks. Good night.
Well said. Rebel Jack, you want to step up to the mic? That catch him when he stepped away.
Yes, you did.
Ah,
But it was re-up on beer time, so you caught me muting during that. But
I understand.
closing comments are, I don't know, good vibes can do a lot more benefits than bad vibes can, because more people are receptive to good vibes than they are receptive vibes. So as long as you can counteract bad vibes and reverse them with good vibes, you can make everybody's day better, especially if they're like an upset person at that given time. Merely by just saying hi, they might not be super wanting to talk, be it a clerk in the store or cashier or whatever. You just say how you doing, talk with them, like actually talk with them like they're a person for a few minutes, and it'll make the rest of their day, at least for an hour or two, until there's a grumpy Karen or Chad or whatever we're calling the dudes. I don't really know. That comes along and messes with them, and then their vibe will be changed again. But if you can portray more good vibes, it'll counteract the bad vibes in a large amount, far easier than trying to just put out more bad vibes. That doesn't help. Eventually, the bad vibes are going to turn into kinetic energy, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of kinetic energy from bad vibes. I yield.
Well said. Thank you very much. Now, what you put out can affect others. If you're putting out that good vibe, like he said, that clerk who's making your lunch looks like he's grumpy, being nice to him. And maybe when that Karen or whatever shows up, maybe he can change her attitude because you brightened his day. Maybe he can brighten her day. These things are all connected, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress that enough. And, of course, I will stress it all the time. But I wholeheartedly believe that this is the way that not just Americans or whatever have to do, but us as humans have to do. I believe this is what we need to do to go to that next level. I've never been more sure about something in my life other than the assembly. And we can do it. It would be easy. All it takes is concentration. And I know every one of you do very well at concentrating, even if you think you don't. Because you know when you focus on something, you get it done. And just know that I have the utmost confidence in you. And with that, I yield and bid you all good night and sweet dreams.